silence, faces lit in code. Aces crossing continents on one electric road. Your morning cup is someone's dusk, hands collide in space. Poker's universal tongue, we deal in every place. 0 hour in Denver, high noon in Bahrain. Shuffle up. Time's just another vein. World shift, no border can confine. We run the circuit on an endless line. Sydney sunrise feeding Vegas dusk. Talent meets the moment, adapt or bust. Clock hands blur, skills the gift. Play forever in the Syndicate world shift. Forever in the Syndicate world shift. Forever in the Syndicate world shift.
And it is time. It is time for the Syndicate World Shift. We're here, live on YouTube. It is the Syndicate's World Shift game number 3 from the Syndicate Poker Club, playing live on PokerNow.club, the free-to-play poker site, free-to-play poker client, if you will. No money involved. Completely free roll poker, we have to say, is obligatory thing, just to make sure that they don't think, oh, you guys are advertising gambling. No, we're not. It's just free roll poker. No worries, folks. You can check us out over at pokernow.club. And we have our own website for the Syndicate that we will share with you here in just a moment. First off, take a look at our roster for today's game. We got Casely, 4 King Ace Hole, Millie, Biggie Large, Freak Child, XRP Vixen, Jam Rock and Roll, and Boss all on the list for today's game. Game number 3 of the 8-game qualifying series of the World Shift, designed to get all of the players around the world that are members of the Syndicate Poker Club a chance to show their stuff and play a game or two or whatever. Everybody's kind of filtering in as we go, and sometimes some of the players kind of come in late. There's a 30-minute late registration, so we'll see how it goes. With the 6 King 4 opening up on this first hand, rainbowing it out. Vixen will take it down with 0 effort. Off to Casely, now to XRP Vixen. She's out. Freak Child's folding it out. Boss and Ace are limping in. Biggie Large checking his option. Couple of clubs on the board with 5-8-4. Jammer checking it over to Boss. Got the Queen of Diamonds on the turn. Biggie Large going for a whole 50. And Biggie Large will take it down with his pair of queens. Biggie Large kind of considered the bully of the group. Plays a very aggressive game. Freak Child folds it out. Biggie Large loves him some Hold'em. He's old. He's got a Syndicate overall rating right now of 6th out of about 26 players. Over at PokerNow.club, his overall sit and go ranking is 67th. And they say that he's annoyed most by clocks because he generally runs late to most of the games, but he's been on time. Unlike his normal, he's been on time quite often for most of the games. So good to see him out there playing with the vampires. Some of our players playing from Australia this morning, this afternoon. The world shift built for the early risers, the overnight crew, and the day drinkers alike. All hours of the day playing this game, that's for sure. Millie's action. Millie and Jammer are related. So don't be getting any wild ideas out there, by the way, gang. When she says, "Thank you, Daddy." Should I have said that? It felt very inappropriate. Hey, it is the Syndicate. There's nothing appropriate about them. All free, but still playing as though it's all real. Freak Child limping in on this hand. Lots of chit chat going on out there. Jammer will take it down. And we got 5 of them sitting out there with an ace-7-5 on the board. Check for Millie, Casely, Vixen, Freak. Everybody checks it around. 7 of diamonds now. It is becoming a check fest quite quickly. Another ace. 2 pair on the board alone. Casely in the action. Everybody's still checking it down. Vixen, Casely, and Boss. We'll take a 3-way split on that. Definitely a very interesting hand we just saw there. Isn't poker so exciting? Sometimes. Not all the time, though. Not like they show it on real TV. If you're looking for something really exciting, probably won't happen. Not when you're broadcasting every single hand, because there's a lot of hands that just everybody folds, I promise you. King Ace-9, rainbowed out, which means one of each different suit at least. Casely goes 50. Vixen's out. Freak Child calls. Boss limps in on the 50 as well. 3 of diamonds. Casely goes 50. The other 2 call it out. A king comes on the river, pairs up the board. And apparently there was a bet brought by Professor Chips. Casely folds it out. Freak Child shows his aces. Texas Hold'em. One of the more famous types of poker that's played. How would you say it? Hollywood-wise, broadcasted more than any other poker game that's out there. Definitely made famous in the mainstream by so many different reasons. Movie rounders, as well as the world of Chris Moneymaker in the World Series of Poker, where just random guys who were playing on online were able to win the World Series of Poker. Back into the action here. Apparently, somebody's saying that we are having microphone problems. Could be. Or we might be having problems with people not turning up their hearing aids. I'm double checking my audio, and I don't know. Sounds pretty good to hear. I can't talk to myself when I have an echo going on. I don't have live. I don't have live feedback at the moment. So, anyway, if it cuts in and out, I'm sorry. I'm not really all that entertaining. I promise you, because the 5 of clubs just came on the river. Freak Child's checking it. Acer. Jammer's got in the action. Checking it. Vixen checks it down. And Acer will take it. His pocket tens will hold with a lot of stuff out there on that board. The wonderful world of forking ace hole loves him some Omaha, which we'll talk about here in a second. About some of the Syndicate series that are playing alongside with the World Shift. Syndicate games almost every day now, in different qualifying series, and then always ends up with a final table championship game. Just had one this past Sunday for the Weekend Warriors series. A grueling 16 game series that was supposed to run 8 weeks. Ended up only going for 12 games. The qualifying seats were all clinched. So the Syndicate voted to just go ahead and have the final table early. Godley ended up winning that one. Won't be seeing much of her on these late game, early games, whatever you want to call them. Freak Child's folding it out. And we just realized what half of the problem was. Ace Jack 4. Rainbowed up. Anyway, as we were saying, with a pair of jacks on the board, Texas Hold'em, uh, blind structures. There's a dealer button. That's that little white D that goes from player to player to player. That's the dealer. To the left of the dealer is going to be a small blind and a big blind. The blinds are bets that are put in prior to any cards being dealt out. And those blinds are up in the upper right hand corner there where it says NLH 5100. That's the blind structure. It goes up incrementally as the game continues. Started out at 2550 and now we're at 5100. force blind, a small blind 50, a big blind of 100. And then everybody has to either call or fold as the action comes around. And cards get dealt out on a flop, just like you see there. 3 cards out, community cards, anybody can use them for whatever purpose. Then a turn, and then a river. And the river card is the last card that is dealt, and then the last round of betting. There's a round of betting at every card turn. First the flop, then a round of betting, then the turn, a round of betting, and then the river, and then the best 5 cards win. And sometimes it's not the players that are holding the cards. Sometimes it turns out that the board will end up playing. And here we are with 3 players, Boss, Biggie Large, and Millie going out with a 9, Queen, and Deuce. Everybody checking it out. Ace of clubs on the turn. Boss will call it. There's a 9 of hearts. And Biggie Large has an ace. Free Child will fold it. And we will take a break on the mic and let you guys watch some of the action. Take a listen to some of our goofy songs. Some poker songs, some just other regular songs. And we'll be back on the mic with some more commentary in a moment. This is the Syndicate World Shift game number 3. And then we'll tell you where to find some more about the Syndicate here in a moment.
The king of the skies got rockets on the rise. But have you ever wondered what is Mr. Bezos hiding in disguise? Billionaire dreams with money to spend, but the shape of his empire makes you question his intent. Why does everything he owns look like a phallic throne? Is it power, is it pride, or just a joke that's grown? From spaceships to skyscrapers, the shapes always show. Why does everything he touch have to look like a pile of shit? He's got a yacht on the seas with curves that tease, but it's hard to ignore what's hidden in the breeze. Is it just a coincidence or a secret in plain sight? Does his vision of the future have a shape that's just not right? Why does everything he owns look like a phallic throne? Is it power, is it pride, or just a joke that's grown? From spaceships to skyscrapers, even the Amazon smile. Why does everything he touch have to look like a pile of shit? Have to look like a pile of shit. Is it a power move or a design gone wrong? Or is it just a man with a joke too long? We'll never know the answer, but we can sing this song and laugh at the asshole that's obsessed with dongs. Why does everything he owns look like a phallic throne? Is it power, is it pride, or just a joke that's grown? From spaceships to skyscrapers, even the Amazon smile. Why does everything you touch have to look like a pile of shit? Have to look like a pile of shit. So here's to Jeff and all his boys, built with billions but shaped like sex toys. We'll keep asking the question as we watch them soar. Why does everything he built remind us of something more? but shaped like sex toys. We'll keep asking the question as we watch them soar. Why does everything he built remind us of something more? Why does everything he owns look like a phallic throne? Is it power, is it pride, or just a joke that's grown? From spaceships to skyscrapers, even the Amazon smile. Why does everything you touch have to look like a pile of shit? Have to look like a pile of shit. Have to look like a pile of shit.
Little song, ode to Jeff Bezos, owner of Amazon, where everything he has is shaped like a penis for some reason, including Blue Origin. Was that awful or not? I don't know. We're back with the action. 2 aces on the board. We got a jack and a queen, and now a 9 of spades. Could be looking at a big hand here. Just a 2 pair for Millie. Queen, aces over queens with a king kicker. Boss is now in the dealer seat. As working ace will go small blind, big blind for biggie large. Millie limping in for 100. Casely. Taking a good think there, apparently. Everybody else folding out. 9, ace, 10 of spades. 2 spades on the board. Now a 9 of spades. Pair of the board, but 3 spades. 300 from Biggie. Millie out. And Acer's out. Biggie large, the big bully, did have the 9. Could be his night again. We'll never know. Millie, hailing from Australia, 27 years old. Loves some Hold'em. Syndicate overall rank, 11th. Annoyed most by having a lack of wine. Most notable poker accolade is she's gotten lots of royal flushes, whatever that means. And over now, sit and go ranking on PokerNow.club, 30th overall in the sit and goes on PokerNow.club, where anybody can play for free, and you too can join the syndicate, or anybody else out there join into the sit and go competitions with their ranking systems and be famous for 15 minutes on the leaderboard. All free to play over at PokerNow.club. And the syndicate getting ready to come up with a new game series coming up on Saturday afternoon. And that's not it, but that's a game series that just started on Monday night, U.S. time. Omaha Overdrive. That'll run through September 8th. And they'll be playing just Omaha poker. Whole little different take on poker. 4 cards instead of 2 dealt into their hands. But they must use at least 2 of those cards out of those 4 that they're used. No more, no less. They have to use 2 of them, and only 3 of those board cards play. So you can check those out on Monday night right here on YouTube with the Syndicate on PokerNow on YouTube. Once again, the Syndicate playing on PokerNow.club, totally free to play. 6 deuce 5. 2 spades on the board. Got 200 coming from Casely. Freechild will fold it out. Boss. She's out. Jammer's out. Millie. She will call it. Another spade on the board. This is a 4. Millie checks this one. Casely. Timing out. Another 5. Now we got another pair on the board. Lots of spades and a pair and a whole straight sitting out there. There could be anything sitting out there. And it will be Millie who takes it down with pocket 7s to give her 2 pair 7s over 5s. And a 6 kicker. That's pretty sad. The kicker was a 6. A's are going up to 450. That is too much for everybody else. Casely checking it. Deuce 6 king. He's going 550. And Acer will take that. And he will not show. Action's off the jammer. Jammer limps in for the 200. Casely. Will time out. That'll give her a fold. Freechild checking. 854. Biggie large checking. Jammer checking. Everybody checking that around. Freechild bets out 200. Off the boss's action. She'll be out. Biggie large is out. And Jammer is out. And Freechild showing his trip 4s. Little tiny bet. Couldn't get any action on that. Millie limping in. Freechild will call that blind. Boss checking the action. We're checking it. Or option, I should say, not the action. Huh? We're checking out the action, guys. Freechild starts out the check fest. Over to Millie. 2 queens on the board. Now an 8. Everybody's checking still. Millie checks it out. Freechild had another pair of pocket 4s, but Biggie Large will take that. No straight, surprisingly enough, though. Casely going 2. Freechild is out. Boss on the small blind. She will go up to 5. Jammer will call it. Casely. Having a good think. And called. 10-7-8, 2 clubs. 1 heart. Check, check. From Boston Jammer. Off to Casely. Who will time out on a check. Queen comes. A queen of spades. Check, check. Back to Casely's action. She will go 1,000. And if that doesn't scream straight, I don't know what would. But we'll never know. The Syndicate PokerClub.com, official website of the Syndicate Poker Club, I guess, whatever you want to say. In any case, holding up a new game coming up on Saturday, July 19th. That'll one will run through to the 16th of September. Secret Bounty. Players will get extra points on their leaderboard for knocking out the Secret Bounty, and nobody will know who it is until the game is over. So that could be a bloodbath or a lot of knitting, as they call it. The people playing real tight and not playing real strong. So be interesting to see what happens with that. That one starts this Saturday, July 19th at 4 o'clock Eastern Time here in the U.S. Currently, we are on the World Shift broadcast, the Syndicate's World Shift game. Players from all over the world, Australia, England, sometimes Korea. All sorts of time zones out there. That's why it's called the World Shift. It's not the night shift, the day shift. It's the World Shift. Everybody's awake for this one. Everybody's working for the money. When there's no money involved, actually. We got to say it every time. I apologize. We'll take a peek at our leaderboard here real quick. And no, we won't. And now we will. Porking Ace Hole sitting with the chip lead right now. Just with a little chip lead over the Freak Child. Biggie Large, Millie, then Casely. Jammer bringing it up the rear with 37.75. And we will be back in just a minute.
Sat down with a stack, feeling just right. Read the whole table like a book last night. But then a guy in Crocs and a cowboy hat called my raise with 7 deuce. Imagine that. Flop comes down, not a pair in sight. He rivered a straight, said, I just playing for the vibes, alright. Oh, all in, all night. These fuckers just can't play right. They call with trash, hit the light. I'm losing chips to fools in flight. Luck's on vacation, skills out of sight. Still I'm all in. in the hole felt 10 feet high. Big blind calls with a face full of fries. Flop strips with a 9. I don't know why. He said 9's my lucky number, dude. I tipped my hat and ordered comfort food. I studied GTO solvers and charts. They study cartoons and follow their hearts. One guy said oops as he showed his hand, flopped a full house with a beer in his pants. I cried inside but I kept my cool while the guy next to me played chess with a pool noodle. All in, all night, where donkeys dance and sharks lose fights. They hit their gunshots just for spite. I'm down to crumbs but still polite. If I go broke, at least I wrote this song. All in, all night. All
Well, we are back with some action here with the Syndicate's World Shift. Game number 3 of an 8-game series. And check out the Syndicate at syndicatepokerclub.com. And while you guys were listening to some music, and check out the whatever it was. What is? Oh, the Overdrive series just started on Monday night. Game 2 will be this coming Monday. And Secret Bounty, as we were saying, comes out on this coming Saturday. Interesting take on a little bit of poker. Extra points for whoever knocks out the Secret Bounty, and nobody will ever know who it is until the end of the game. We'll see how that all goes. You can check us out, syndicatepokerclub.com. Also, play with us over at pokernow.club. Free poker, not a dime needs to be spent. No money involved. The Syndicate playing for free, but playing just as real as they would if it was. All of your top-rated players in the PokerNow Sit and Go leaderboard. Members of the Syndicate. And the Syndicate also has a farm club, if you will, called the Assembly. You're not quite up to the level of the Syndicate. Some of the Syndicate members are coaches over on the Assembly. You start learning some of the in and outs of the game, and you can get bumped up to the A-team. You can find more information about that through contacting the Syndicate at syndicatepoker.com. 10 ace 9 rainbowed up, 1200 from Casely, headed over to Biggie Large. Queen of Spades on the turn. Casely going all in. And Biggie Large will take it, or go ahead and fold it down. Casely will take that one. Action's over at Millie. Casely limping in. Vixen's out. Freechild's limping in. Acer's going to limp it. Biggie Large checking his option. Call it an option because he can check or he can raise. As he was the starter of the big blind bet there. Biggie Large going for 400. That'll put Casely and Freechild out. Acer not going to play that one either. Six Jack 4. All in from Jammer, 2175. And that's enough for getting Boss out of there. Freechild will limp in. Boss. Everybody limping in for this one. Millie's option. She will check it. Jammer now on the action. Jack 6-6 on the board. Freechild with a big $2,000, 2,000 chip pot bet. Biggie Large going over the top on that one. Biggie Large with the 6. He had the trips with an ace kicker. Jack, the only thing that can help Freechild here. And it's a queen that comes out on the river, so Freechild will lose a big chunk. Biggie Large playing the ace-6 suited to win that one. King Jack 3, 2 clubs on the board. Casely's action. Vixen checks it. Off the Acer, who's going for 1050. Casely. She's thinking about it. While she thinks about it, we will take a quick peek at the leaderboard. That'll put Biggie Large up in first, that last big pot. Casely sitting in second. And actually, I just changed the leaderboard as that just went down. Acer actually sitting in second place now. Casely dropped to third a little bit. Followed by Vixen, Millie, Boss, Jammer, and Freechild bringing up the rear on the massive short stack after that huge loss. And the blinds going up to 300, 600 has just put Freechild all in on the blind for 575. Biggie Large making it bigger at 1,500. And it'll just be a heads-up showdown with a 4-stall in from Freechild. And Big Slick flops out. So that will put an end to the Freechild's game. As Biggie Large takes it down with 2 pair aces over kings with the Big Slick. So no small blind on this hand, just a big blind, 600 from boss. Jammer calls it and limps in at the 6. Casely. And let's see, boss just checked it out, so boss will check the option as we have a king 4 jack, 2 hearts, and then the 3 of diamonds on the turn, 600 from boss. Jammer calls at 7 of hearts. Boss's action. Going 6. Jammer, 600. At a pocket queens. Semi-obliterating boss a little bit. Leaderboard as it stands, Biggie Large, still up there. Over 10 grand in chips. Followed up by Forking Ace Hole all the way down at 7,000. So big lead for Biggie Large, taking down, pretty much taking out the Freak Child in 2 hands. Boss's action, now off to Acer. On his option, he will check with 2 7s and an 8 on the board. Three of hearts comes on the turn. Everybody checking around Jammer. Everybody checks it around as a 4 of spades comes on the river. Check, check, check. And Vixen will check it. Vixen will take it down. Ace 10. Pair of 7s on the board plays. She had the higher cards with the 2 kicker cards. Not all that extravagant. As you play free poker over at PokerNow.club, you run into a lot of different avenues of play. A lot of them we call donks, as they play donkey poker. Don't know what they're doing, how they're doing it, or why they're doing it. And because it's free poker, they don't care if they lose or win or whatever. They're just like, oh, hopefully I'll win. Forking Ace Hole takes it with 2 pair of 7s, 8s over 7s, played on the board, but he had the ace kicker. But in any case, you can play over at PokerNow.club for free. And don't forget to check us out, Syndicate Poker Club at syndicatepokerclub.com. New website. All the games are listed there, leaderboards, links to the live streams, and where you can join the club as well. So, with that being said, here's what most of the players say all the time is, what the fuck?
I raised it up with kings in the hole. Dude across the table starts acting bold. He goes all in with jack and a 3. Offsuit garbage, like seriously. Flop comes down and I'm feeling strong, until he hits a runner straight and sings a song. What the fuck were they thinking? Playing trash like it's gold-plated bacon. No position, no odds, no rhyme or reason, but they keep winning like it's cheating season. I study charts, they drink and blink. Tell me again, what the fuck were they thinking? Lady on the button calls with 8-4, no suited, no straight. straight, not even a lure. A flop top says she flops nothing at all, but chases backdoor hearts like she heard a call. Turning river come just like a prayer. Now she's stacking my chips like life's not fair. 8-4 offsuit goes all in. 9-2 offsuit goes all in. 6-3 offsuit calls a shove, and the whole damn table's feeling the love. What the fuck? They said tight is right, I believed in the grind, but these maniacs keep robbing me blind. They moonwalk through hands with pure disrespect, while I'm sweating GTO, trying to protect. She called a triple barrel with second pair. They said I don't know, it felt lucky there. What the fuck were they thinking? Wearing flip-flops, talking smack and drinking. Every rule I follow, they just break. Then high-five each other with my big steak. I play it smart, they don't even blink. I need a priest. What the fuck were they thinking? What the fuck were they thinking? Running wild like poker's just instincting. I got charts, I got notes, I even got a coach. They got vibes and a lucky cockroach. So if you're asking why my stack is shrinking, don't ask me, man. What the fuck were they thinking? Maybe I'm the fool. Maybe none of this means anything. God damn it.
Well, we saw the exit of Boss just recently. So join us at PokerNow.club. And as you saw, the Secret Bounty coming up July 19th through September 16th. Find out more information at syndicatepokerclub.com. We take a look at our number one table, the only table we have. Only 8 players on tonight's game. Casely just timing out and checking, but ends up winning the hand. Pair of kings, aces over king. The leaderboard, Biggie Large still sitting up there with almost double stack over XRP Vixen sitting in second. Millie sitting in third. Acers dropped down to fourth. Jammer right behind him. And Casely still pretty tight right in there. And Boss going out seventh. Freakchild going out eighth already. As we get into more of the Syndicate's World Shift game number 3, blinds up to 400, 800. Things are going to start getting interesting now as the blinds are getting a little higher. And here we go with some big action. Working ace will go on 22. Biggie Large calling it. Everybody else getting the hell out of the way. Ace are going 3. And Biggie Large saying nope. Pocket nines from the Acer. Casely going 24. A 3-bet, as they call it. Meaning she is raised up 3 times the big blind. And that'll be no good for everybody else. They will let her take that. Stealing the blinds, as they say, or buying the blinds. Everybody raising pre-flop currently. 3 hands in a row. 16 from Biggie. Millie goes out. Casely will call that raise from Biggie. 2, 8, 10, 2 hearts. 27 from Casely. And that will be just enough for her to take that one down. Jammer, who's been pretty quiet, who we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, also hails from Australia, 68. He's a musician, so he's annoyed most by the lack of music. He once had quad aces at the Flamingo in Las Vegas, I believe. He never did elaborate whether that was the Vegas Flamingo or a different version of it, maybe over in Australia. Who knows? His overall sit and go poker ranking is sit and go ranking over at PokerNow is 44th, and overall on the Syndicate sitting in 12th right now. So strong player, as they all are with the Syndicate, and have a tendency to beat each other up every time we have a game that we broadcast here on our YouTube channel, the Syndicate Poker Club, on PokerNow, playing on PokerNow. Casely limping in for the 8. Acer going out biggie large. We'll go ahead and check his option, but betting after the flop. 2 clubs. Got a 2 and a 3, and then a queen of spades. Casely says no to the 800. Biggie large flopping 2 pair, queens and 3s. Biggie large will fold it over to jammers. Blind bet there. No effort needed to be put through. 800 chip limp in. Millie's option, she will check. Another rainbow flop with a 6-king ace. Jammer going all in at 38-33. Millie will head out. Casely will call it. And Jammer will take that hand. He flops 2 pair aces over 6s. Millie checking with a 3-5-10. Now another 3 pair of 3s on the board. Millie checks it over to Casely. Casely checks it. King of Hearts finishes out the board. 800 from Millie. Casely will time out and fold. Millie on the button. Casely and Vixen in the blinds respectively. Millie will limp it in. Casely will go all in pre-flop. A little over double the blinds there. Vixen wants no part of it. Neither does Millie. Casely will survive for another hand. And for those of you that sometimes want to see what the big blind, a lot of online players say the big blinds. I have this many blinds. I have the big B, the BBs. I got this many bigs. Well, there you go. That's what the display looks like when you talk about blinds. A lot of online players play that way for some odd reason. It's not something I have ever understood. But the 4-king ace hole is going to go all in with ace-10 over ace-king. And the 10 never came. A 4-king ace hole will head out of the game with Biggie Large taking yet another hand and keeping his stack big. So that will be the demise of 4-king ace hole in this game. Another 3. We got trip 3s on the board with a 7. 15 from Biggie Large. Jammer will go 15, and Millie's all in. And Millie with pocket tens will take that down. And then she will, well, she'll take her portion, and then Jammer will take what was left over. Both of them technically beating Biggie Large there. Casely limping in at 8. Casely's action. Six, queen, 4, rainbow flop. 4,000 in the pot. 10 of diamonds comes on the turn. 800 from both. 800 from Biggie. Jammer calls. Jammer will take that. 2 pair queens over 10s. Biggie Large hoping that his queen deuce was going to do some good. And it didn't. Blinds have now gone up to 501,000. Biggie on the button as the dealer. Jammer in the small blind with 500,000 for the big blind on Millie. XRP Vixen limps in. It'll be heads up against XRP Vixen. Millie. Vixen goes all in at 25.58. Pretty much betting the pot there to go all in. And it'll be enough for Millie to head out. Pair of queens. Jammer going up to $2,000. Starting to knock on the door of Biggie there. Casely's action, being in the big blind already, got 1,000 in. And Jammer will take that. Jammer's action. He's out. Millie says, no, thank you. And Casely timing out again. XRP Vixen will take the blind. Be about it for Casely here. She's on the short stack. Only has an all-in here to call the big blind at 989. 875 on the board. 2 clubs with a queen on the turn. And Jammer going to bet over to Biggie Large. He's not going to check it down. Casely, big slick, no good. Trip sevens from Jammer. And that will take Casely out of this game. Game number 3 of the Syndicate's World Shift. Take her out in 5th. That leaves Jammer up in first place now. Biggie Large taking up second at 11 grand. Millie and Vixen still left, top 4. XRP Vixen, hailing out of North Carolina. 9th overall with the Syndicate. Over at PokerNow.club, the overall sit-and-go ranking for her, 29th. Hates douchebags. Douchebag players for the most part. Not just douchebags. I think everybody hates douchebags. But the douchebag players is who she really cannot stand playing poker against. And has 0 notable poker accolades at this point, other than playing with the Syndicate. But you can check out the Syndicate at Syndicate Poker Club or syndicatepokerclub.com. Game's going to start getting pretty tight here real quick. The blinds at 501,000. Only got about another 5 minutes before the blinds go up yet another level, up to 600, 1,200. Vixen not showing off her hand, but will take that one down. Jammer in the big blind. Millie, she's out. Vixen's out. Everybody's out. Jammer, no action. Biggie Large will go in, calling the big blind, limping in against Millie. She will check the option with 2 3s and a 5. Millie will call Biggie Large's 1,000 chip bet, 4 of diamonds. And another 4 on the river, 2 pair on the board. 4's over 3. And that's what we'll have with an ace kicker for Millie to take that one. Got 2 coming from Biggie Large. Millie taking it down. Folding it. No action for Biggie Large's big blind. Millie's out. Vixen will call it. Limp in for the 1,000. Jammer will check the option with a 5-7-4. Vixen's going all in. 25.58 again. Enough to get Jammer out of there. She'll take a few more chips back. She calls the big blind 1,000. Jammer's action. He's out. Millie. Five, 6 deuce, 2 clubs. Another deuce. Crazy boards we've been seeing this game. And a queen of clubs on the river. Could complete a flush. Could be a boat. Nope, just a pair with an ace-10 kicker. And that one will go down. as we hop into another round. Don't forget the Secret Bounty tournament starts on July 19th, this coming Saturday. You can check out the whole schedule at syndicatepoker.club. Wow. What time is it? syndicatepokerclub.com. Playing at pokernow.club. That one runs July 19th through September 16th. Brand new series of a little bit variation of Texas Hold'em poker. By trying to knock each other out, but also trying to survive all at the same time. And nobody knows who it is that needs to be hunted. Who's going to have the target on their back? They'll never know. It's like playing headbands, I guess. 1,000 from Biggie. Going over to Vixen. Calls it. Deuce on the river. Checks it down. Biggie large will take that one. 7s over 9s. Jammer folds it out. Millie's action. Millie has ghosted and gone offline. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see what transpires there. Biggie large going for a raise of 1,000. Jammer says no, thank you. Jammer timing out here. Probably giving Millie a benefit of the doubt on this one. Or did something happen in Australia? We're going to lose Jammer too. Somebody check the news and see what's going on in Australia. We're losing our players left and right over there. Jammer and Millie both disappearing, it appears. Looks like Millie has come back, sort of. Everybody just kind of checking around, folding around. Vixen is all in and will still survive. Nobody called. Millie checking the option 9-4-3, 2 spades. Six of diamonds comes on the turn. Everybody checking. Everybody, the whole 2 players are checking. Not this time, though. Millie goes for 12, and Vixen says, nope, not going to try that. Blinds are at 6-12. Or for those people that like to see everything in blind status. We always try to appease the masses. All in from Vixen. And Biggie Large will take it 2 pair queens and nines. So Vixen will go out fourth. And Biggie Large will rebuild some of his stack with that one. As we sit at 600, 1,200 blinds for about another 6 minutes. We may or may not make it that long. We'll find out. Everybody folding out to the big bad jammer. Biggie on the button calls the big blind. Millie has the option check or raise with an ace king of hearts and a 5 of clubs. Biggie going for 12. Sends it over to Millie, who's going to mill it over and call. Another heart comes in the form of a 4 of hearts, which was enough for Millie to bet, and Biggie Large says, no thanks. Once again, we have an ace-8 queen of 2 hearts on that board with the ace and the 8. Queen of clubs. 1,200 from Jammer. Millie says no, and Biggie says no. And that will give Jammer whatever he won with. But he won the hand. That's what's important. Don't forget, this is all free poker at PokerNow.club. Sign up and play. Join the sit and go games, ring games. Make your own games. Developed for people to be able to play poker online for free, but be able to play it more on a serious basis, without the bells and whistles and rigmarole that comes along with some of the bigger poker sites. Simple, easy to use. PokerNow.club. Syndicate. Playing for free, but playing it for real. Once again, most of the Syndicate players sitting on the sit and go leaderboard season after season after season at PokerNow. So you're definitely watching a lot of the best players on the public end, shall we say, of PokerNow. Millions of hands are dealt every month. Almost 10,000 sit and go players every season, every month. As well as the tens of thousands of players that are playing private games, private tournaments, all sorts of different things that go on out there. Blinds are still 612. Millie on the big blind. Her option, she will check. 5-8-4, 2 clubs. Checked by both players. Biggie bets it at 12. Millie will fold it down. In the interim, we will give you River of Tears well, no, maybe we won't. We might see some action here. Let's hold off on that. $3,000 raise from Jammer. Biggie called it. King 4 hearts and a 10 of diamonds. 12 from Jammer, called by Biggie. Deuce of hearts. 3 hearts on the board now. Both players checking a 3 of clubs. Both players check, and Jam Rock and Roll will take it with Big Slick with a pair of kings. So that put a little dent in Biggie Large's stack there. Keep having overlay problems here this early morning. Jam Rock and Roll now sitting in first, 1,000 chips over Millie. And Biggie Large is actually the short stack at the moment. But everybody about evenly matched at the moment as well. With the blinds where they are, everybody's about at the same level. So could be anybody's game. Blinds will be going up 700 to 1,400 here in about 1 minute. And once again, we didn't mention this, but we did mention that the Warrior Series had just completed on Sunday. And Godly ended up winning that. Godly, one of the players, not playing in tonight's game, this morning's game, whatever you want to call it, but hails out of Washington, D.C., 20 years old. Syndicate overall, she's third. And sits with an overall sit-and-go ranking over at PokerNow.club of 36th. Strong player. Just won the Syndicate Weekend Warrior bracelet. $10 Jack 7. Rainbowed up, 1,200 from Biggie. Millie. Calls it 2 of diamonds and a Queen of Hearts. Playing with the Queen of Hearts. And Millie will take that. And taking a few more chips away from Biggie. Biggie Large not being so Biggie anymore. They're calling him the Biggie Bully. As he is a very aggressive player. $700, $1,400 on the blinds. Millie's action. Biggie's going up to 28. Jammer's folding it. Jammer will call the blind. Millie checking it. Jack 5 Queen. Ace O spades. And Millie will show her pair of 7s in the pocket. Pair of 4s for Jammer in his pocket. We will be right back after this.
This one's for the grinders, the ghosts of bankrolls past, and everyone who's ever lost to a guy named Ricky, holding 6-9 offsuit on a prayer.
I had the nuts on the turn, felt like a king, counting my chips, hearing the angels sing. He called my shove like he couldn't care less, said let's see what happens, oh no this fucking ass. Board paired the river, my soul took a hit, he slow rolled me quads while eating Cool Ranch chips. Down by the river of tears, where dreams drown deep and love disappears. These stupid fuckers floating down the river, sitting on the toilet and then they flush. I played it right, but fate interferes, now I'm floating alone on a river of tears.
day, another dollar lost. Flopped a straight thought, I'll show him who's boss. He called with two pair, weak as can be. Then the board paired up naturally. He fist bumped the guy in a Scooby-Doo hat while I stared at the felt flat on my back. Down by the river of tears, where dreams drown deep and love disappears. These stupid fuckers floating down the river, sitting on the toilet and then they flush. I played it right but fade into fears. Now I'm floating alone on a river of tears. I once believed in math, in discipline, in range, but now I believe in bad beats and emotional change. They say variance, I say witchcraft. They say don't tilt, I say laugh on my behalf. Cashed out my chips, walked into the night, past the neon sign and the soda Sprite light. My bankroll's gone, but my soul remains, scarred by maniacs and psychic pains. If you see me wandering with hollow eyes, just know the river's where my sanity lies. Down by the river of tears, where straights get cracked and you face your fears. It's not just the cards, it's the pain of the peers who hit runner and then cheers. Yeah, I'll see you again. On that river of tears.
Well, here we are. Everybody's still battling it out. Jammer's starting to take a commanding lead here, as we keep bringing up the wrong leaderboard window. Jammer sitting way up there at this point. Biggie large all in, but will survive that. And taking a big chunk back. Millie now the short stack. And Millie will take that one. Blind still at 700, 1400. Biggie large will go up and double it. 28. Jammer going for 5. Biggie will call it 4 queen 7. 14 from Biggie. Called by Jammer. 14 from Biggie and called by Jammer. 3 of spades on the river. Is it going to be a river of tears? They'll check it. Jammer at pocket jacks, beating out Big Slick. Jammer trying to put Millie all in. She will call it with pocket nines. Ace six suited of spades. Nines are looking good at the moment. Another spade comes. Spade draw for Jammer. And he will miss it. Millie's pocket nines will hold. Nine queens over nines with a six kicker. Once again, the kicker's not so wonderful. Jack, ace, queen, two clubs. Biggie Large trying to take Millie all in, but did not work. Millie almost half her stack going in a blind. Call the blind. Biggie Large will just check it and let her see the flop. He's going to make her fold. She'll be able to see the hand here with only 400. So there will be a 1,200 side pot that Millie will be eligible for. Pair of jacks and jack nine, two pair. Millie little hope, and all is gone and all is lost. As Millie goes out in third, Biggie Large taking it down with two pair of jacks and nines. So that'll be third place for Millie as Jammer and Biggie Large head into a heads-up final section of the game. Jammer with the chip lead over Biggie Large and adds to it a little bit more with 3,200 on that hand. Blinds up to 800, 1,600. Jammer's out. $32 from Biggie. Doubled it up. Jammer ain't gonna play. Two, 4, 3. Rainbowed up. Another 4. Be a diamond to diamond up with the deuce. 16 from Biggie. Too rich for Jammer. And players will go at 3,200 apiece with a 10-9-4 rainbowed up. $6,000 from Jammer. Biggie says no thanks. $4,000 from Jammer this time. Biggie says no again. Little chip shifting back and forth. Each of them waiting for that big hand. Jammer saying he's got one at 32. Biggie will call it. 487. Two diamonds. Biggie's going 48. Jammer calls it. Another 8 on the board. Biggie going $5,000. Jammer will call that 26,000 chip pot with a jack of hearts on the river. Last 1690 from Biggie. Is that going to be enough for Jammer to say? No, Jammer will go, but Biggie will take it with trip eights. Or sorry, that's a full boat. Eights full of sevens. Crazy hand right there. Big swing, a chip lead right there. And that will start whittling away at Jammer unless something big happens here. Jammer going 32. Doubling up. Biggie Large will fold it and give Jammer some more hope. $8,000 from Biggie, going way up. That'll put Jammer into a position to go all in. Biggie Large with pocket queens over a 6 ace. Jammer's going to need an ace. And that will do it. Biggie Large will take the win with his pocket queens. 2 pair of queens over sevens. Jammer will take second. Mill, you're rounding us out at third for game 3 of the Syndicate's World Shift qualifying portion of the game series. Biggie Large first, Jammer second, Millie third. XRP Vixen will take fourth. Casely taking fifth. Acer in sixth. Boss seventh. Freak Child rounding out the bottom in the basement as this game comes to a close. Congratulations to Biggie Large on winning this one. Points and everything can all be found. Not there. That's the next game coming up this coming Monday. We need this, the Syndicate. Check out the point boards, games, game series, profiles. It's all there. SyndicatePokerClub.com. And we will see you at the next broadcast right here on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe for more unexciting excitement with the Syndicate Poker Club on PokerNow.club. We'll see you next time.